Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. Today's beer, we're going to wind up the Starr series here. This is their Northern Lights IPA, a 6.2 percenter, still not quite to the ABV range where I would buy it. 99.9% of the beers that I buy for myself are go-to beers, or at least 7% or up. This is, like I said, their Northern Lights IPA, 6.2%. When I went to the brewery 8-9 years ago, and I tasted this then, this was the hoppiest thing they had at the time, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was, my palate wasn't used to drinking IPAs, and I thought it was probably one of the hoppiest things I'd had up to that time. Probably not so much now. We're going to find out here. And I may have re-reviewed this somewhere along the line. I'm not sure. I didn't go back and look at any of these beers. I do know that before they sent me, I'd had them all before. So that's all we need to talk about there. So let's jump over to Untappd. They have it at 55 IBUs. This says a classic American-style India Pale Ale. Northern Lights weighs in at 55 IBUs and 6.2% ABV. Characterized by its full-flavored bitterness and poignant citrus floral aroma, a perfect blend of barley and hops make this a very balanced IPA. For the craft beer connoisseur, Northern Lights is a deliciously crafted piece of the heavens. Imagine that. So that's all we need to talk about. Let's go ahead. It does have a date on the bottom of it of 06/05 of 18. So it's about 7 weeks old. Today's the 24th of July. While I pour this, I'll tell you cuisine is curried in a Thai, cheese is the pepper, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar, your stronger cheeses. Meat is poultry, fish, and shellfish and salmon. I'll add grilled meat to that, and glass barred pint backer, tumbler mug, Stein Seidel. And not recommended for extended cellarings, drink them fresh, guys. That's the whole reason they date them. About a finger of head, nice amber color, definitely looks like a filtered beer. To the nose we go. Little bit of pine in there, and there's some citrusiness. Might be a tad of either some grapefruit or oranges. It's very subdued, guys. Definitely an East Coast style IPA. Well, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, everybody at Starr Hill. Maybe a good transitional beer, guys. Like all the rest of them they sent me. This whole little 4 beer series they sent me were, to me, all their session transitional beers. So probably not something I would buy of any of them. But if you're just getting into craft beers, it's probably a good stepping stone to try some of these where your palate may be acclimated enough to handle those. This one being the most hoppy of the 4 they sent me, being an IPA, but still an East Coast style. Kind of subdued on the hops aroma and the taste. Not like a West Coast style, and definitely not to the New England style of an IPA. So well, let's throw the back end pour into the glass and sip on this one and see where you end up with. But not blowing my hair back on my socks off. When I opened up the package and seeing what they sent me this time, I kind of knew what I wanted to be expected. And I try to keep an open mind on a lot of this stuff. But like I said, 8 years ago, all these beers would have probably been A beers to me. But now, not so much. What the amount of beers I've had and tasted from all over the country and all over the world, as a matter of fact. So Let me sip on this and we'll come back and see where it ends. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. A good transitional IPA. All 4 beers they sent me this time were their transitional beers. Not something that I would probably seek out or purchase because of what the beers that I have drank doing these beer reviews. So, but when I had this first time 8 years ago, I thought it was pretty tasty. Not so much now. I've had so many other beers that have a whole lot more hop presence, West Coast style, New England style, that these beers seem kind of lackluster to me. But once again, depends on where your palate is, what you're used to drinking. There's probably not a lot of hop heads that's going to find this beer very exciting. One, because of the low ABV content, and 2, because it's an East Coast style and not a lot of hop presence in it. So it is what it is. If you're just now getting into IPAs, this may be a good one to jump into to find out what something with a little more hop presence has. So, but not something the seasoned IPA or double IPA drinker is going to find very exciting, like I said. So, final chug on this one. Decent beer for an East Coast style IPA. Good transitional beer, like I said. It's a B beer though, guys. 85. So all 4 beers have been B beers to me, where I found some of them to be a little bit more exciting when I first had them 8 years ago, but not so much now. Good transitional beers, all 4 of them. So, B for me, 85. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 3.57, also in their B range. And over to Untappd, 3.55, again, also in their B range. It's unanimous again. It's a B beer, but a good transitional beer, if you will. That's where I would put this, guys. It's not enough ABV for me to purchase this, and besides that, it's an East Coast style where the hops are kind of subdued. I want a more hop presence in the beers that I purchase. More of a West Coast or even a New England style. So, if you've had this one from Starr Hill, this is their Northern Lights IPA. Let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.